Hey, it's day 3. I know today's December 4th, but today is day 3 for me, and I am just getting started here, and I realized I hadn't turned the camera on. So what I had done is I'd put some gesso on there and let it dry, and I kind of carved in with the edge of the card some trees. So I thought maybe some blue on the snow that would fill in the depressions of the tree limbs would be just enough to give the illusion of snow and shadows and not quite so bright white. So today's theme is bright, bright, even though I just told you I didn't want it bright white. It's bright and a journal card. And the animal that is to be in it is a penguin. So anyway, so I'm spraying and I'm thinking that this is looking great. I like the color, I like the softness. And so I was drying it, and then it wasn't quite right. I thought I better add some more to make it just a little bit brighter, a little bit more definition on the branches of the tree. I tell you, I really struggled with this part of it. The trees I'm happy with the trees at the end, but at this point, I'm struggling a little bit trying to get it the way I have it in my head. Sometimes you aren't going to get it like you have it in your head. It's going to be what it is and what you're capable of doing. And in the end, it always looks okay. So I'm spraying and keep adding a little bit more. I like the softness of the blue, but the bright, bold trees are perfect for today's theme. So I had this little snow punch. Of course, I've dried it in between here. I've had not a punch, it's a snow stamp. And I didn't have any white, and I thought, well, actually, snow looks grayish when it falls. So I used the black, and it was perfect. I liked how the snow was just gently falling in the background. And I thought I brought it in a little bit closer for you to see, but maybe it went in and out while I was talking. So again, I'm showing you today is bright and a card, journaling card. So I'm going to use this little penguin, which is the animal that we're supposed to have in for my journal card. So that works out really nice, and it was thin because I printed it out on just computer paper, and so I'm backing it here on a piece of cardstock. So that'll give it a little bit more oomph, a little heft to it. So that makes it a much nicer little card. And then of course I like to make sure I ink the edges up nice. And because it's bright white, I kind of like it all covered all over in the ink. I didn't really want to have the white surface to write on. So we're going to ink up the little deer I cut out. They gave me a whole page of cutouts, which are very intricate to do, and I don't have my paper scissors. I'm using just my horrible scissors. So I'm going to cut out some of the little areas that I didn't quite get. I missed a few areas in the antlers. It's quite intricate, and it looks like I could easily cut it right off. But I wasn't too worried, because if I did cut it off, I could always just glue it back on the page where it's supposed to go. So I was willing to play with it a little bit. But now I'm finally ready to glue something down on the page. This is always the fun part, I think, when I start putting on the focal points. And that's the first one. Miss Reindeer. That will be Mr. Penguin and Miss Reindeer. And the story is that they are both together out here in this wilderness, snowy Arctic area. So we'll see what the story continues on to be as I work on this. You won't have long to wait. But anyway, I cut out the rock and the wings from the larger, from another penguin that I had printed out so that it would all match perfectly. And I want the penguin to be presenting Miss Reindeer with a gift for Christmas, because Christmas is the season of giving. And because I did a lot of shopping today. So day 3 is, this seems like a perfect theme for day 3. So anyway, there we go. This little rotund penguin is holding on to a beautifully wrapped gift, and it's going to be presented to Miss Reindeer. I'm kind of making this up as I go along. No, I was thinking about it when I was doing it, but I'm kind of making up the story in my head now as I'm going along. So anyway, I also cut the rock part of it out of the bigger penguin, and I added a little more of the brown paper on the that's around the penguin to make the rock a little bit bigger, because I needed a little bit more place for it to tuck into. So that made a nice tuck spot. And then, of course, today's day 3, and I found this great letter 3, or number 3, that looks like snowflakes. So it's all dotted, and it's I was gonna stamp one or draw one, and I thought, no, I kind of like this, and I just outlined it a little bit and to emphasize it so it shows up a little bit better on the page. And that is another actual focal point. So there's actually 2 focal points, the deer and the 3, and then of course the card and the trees. It really tells a story more than it has one main focal point. So that's how it is. So a little bit of faux stitching here, and going around the page just finishes it off really nicely. I didn't add any sprinkles to this one. It maybe would be nice. I might think about it. I might add them later. But I didn't add any sprinkles to this page because I have the previous 2 pages. And I don't like to do the very same thing every time. But it actually would look pretty nice on this now that I'm thinking about it. I'm wanting to kind of give a little definition to Miss Reindeer and make sure that she's grounded by putting a little marks around her hooves, and let's make sure that she stands out. The stabilo would have been perfect. For some reason I have not located my stabilo. I have a hard time keeping track of things, as you can tell. So I improvise. I always improvise as I go along. I did to realize that the bow doesn't stand out as well. So I outlined the bow too. All that little rubbing was because I drew right onto the reindeer's white fur underneath the chin. I'm trying to blend it in. So anyway, I'm still not happy with the trees, and I'm still thinking, what can I do? And I thought maybe a little definition with the brown, because trees are actually, we'll see the stems, insides, and inside the branches too. So putting a little more definition on that made me much happier with the trees at the end, and it did give them the nice flip and so forth. So there we go, and this is how it's going. Oops, well, no, I'm not done. I realize I need to add a little bit of faux stitching here to the journal card, just to give it a little bit of a polish at the end. So there we go. And goodness, it does make a difference. I do have to say, it does make a difference. So I'm going to give you this little close-up around, and thank you for watching, and have a Merry Christmas, and have fun with your shopping and your gift giving. Bye-bye.